Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your friend Bats. My name is Jared. There's Carl. And this is Green Arrow Reunion by Joshua Williamson, Sean Izaakse, and Romolo. I'm sorry. Fajardo. Sorry, I'm not a Spanish speaker. So this is the DC, Dawn of DC. This takes place right after Joshua Williamson's Dark Crisis. And I bought this book 2 years ago when it came out because the premise, essentially, was Green Arrow gets reunited with his family. And I have been reading Green Arrow since, the Brad Meltzer era. It's better to me, in my opinion, it's called the Bill Hester era, because he's kind of he's the artist through the whole series on the most part. And so, but I came in during the Brad Meltzer run, and at that time I was reading old stuff like Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and really getting, at this time in what was it, 2003, I was 18 years old. I was getting really, really into the DC universe outside of Batman, and Green Arrow became one of my favorite characters at the time. And I pretty much read Green Arrow all the way into the New 52, and then I didn't really like New 52 Green Arrow, and I read it anyway, though. Still bought it and read it because it was a book that I bought and read. And then same thing came with Rebirth. Rebirth was a very back to core basics of Green Arrow, but there was always this feeling of, it doesn't feel like the book that I fell in love with anymore. And so upon reading Absolute Power, a review that I just recently did where I pretty much complained about the coloring for almost 10 minutes, the story of Green Arrow in there made me go, hey, I want to reread Green Arrow Reunion because I got the other Green Arrow books recently, and I'm going to reread Reunion because it was 2 years ago, and I remember having a good feeling with it, but I don't really remember the story all too well, so I want to reread Reunion. And so I reread Reunion, and man, I liked it more the second time than I did the first time. And it's just, it's a very simple story. It's a very DC story, but I just love how it opens up where Ollie wakes up on a beach and he goes, hell, not again. And then he realizes he's on a stranded island, but then he's on another planet. And it really just sets up a cool story. And the story is very simple. Green Arrow is getting pretty much any time the Green Arrow family, the Arrow family, are too close in proximity of each other, they start teleporting away. And they kind of use this story to explain why, New 52 and Rebirth Green Arrow feel different. And it also does mention the problems with the DC universe. And we have, Perch just did a video about how street level heroes wouldn't work in stories with cosmic level stuff, and I had just listened to that video by him, and I was just that's funny because here's Connor Hawke, a friggin' monk who shoots sticks at people, hanging out with the Legion of Superheroes, and it really really works in this Arrow story. And basically Ollie hates the multiverse, and he hates time travel, and it's very annoying to him, and that's why it's fun. And it's just an overall, if you were a Green Arrow fan, from like the 2000s and kind of fell off the book, I pretty much highly recommend picking up Green Arrow Reunion. It's just solid. And then a really cool thing happens. Is it here? There's a point in the, maybe it's later, maybe it's in the next book. Nope, yeah, it's in this one. Something I really dug is you got your main artist, Sean, how do you say his name again? Izaakse. Yep. Oh, sorry about that. So, my fiance just came home for lunch, and so, but getting back to this, they have this really great scene that I just love. So Ollie's fighting his future self, and he turns out to be this like evil robot. And they get into this fight where they crash into a time machine. And then when you turn the page, this is the power of how great comics can be. When you turn the page, it then goes to the Phil Hester era of Green Arrow. Like, you know, there's times where it's annoying when you're reading a comic and like the next page is a different artist and you're like, oh, the guy didn't finish his deadline, so they had to get someone else to come in. But they used that jarring nuisance most of the time into a story beat. And I was just like, that was sick. That was really, really cool. Because like I said, if you've been reading Green Arrow since like the 2000s, like for me and maybe you, Phil Hester is the definitive Green Arrow artist. Some people it's Mike Grell, but for me it's Phil Hester. And so seeing that transition in art was just like really cool. And then we get this like moment of different Green Arrows throughout history. And so we have that big DC moment and like, it just like gets wackier. And, you know, next issue starts back up into continuing the story. And it does it again where we go back to Phil Hester and we get kind of this origin story with Green Arrow and then back into the main story. And it was really kind of cool because it's just like this time traveling, jumping through space and time story. And anytime like there's a moment of Green Arrow kind of winning, there's a bit of a loss, and they find out that Roy's missing because he's caught by Amanda Waller, and that's pretty much the end of the story. And it was just overall just a fantastic story, and like made me really excited to read Green Arrow again. And even though I said I read this 2 years ago, rereading it again now, for the last like 2.5 years, I've been going like reading just DC book, and really like, because I kind of fell off for a while, and then now I've just like been like, I read comics every day now, and I have this like reinvigoration of loving comics again, which I didn't have for a little while. But when I read this 2 years ago, I didn't appreciate it as much. I was like, oh yeah, it was cool. But this time around, I appreciated it so much more. And I just really loved this book. And I kind of like, I forgot that all the things that happened in it. And so like, it didn't say Phil Hester on the cover. So when we got to those Phil Hester moments, it like really like caught me off guard. And I was like, that was awesome. And so yeah, love this book. And I've already read the second one, so a review of that will be coming out soon. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.